Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about prana, chi energy. It is important for your body to have negative ions, abundance negative ions, because negative ions is associated with healing. So what the enemy does is bombard your body with positive ions, because positive ions, when you have a lot of positive ions, sickness stays within your body for a long time. That's intention. They usually have a machine installed in a premises where you live or whatnot, or a next door neighbor who is working for the enemy and stuff, and they bombard you when you sleep, and just when you're at your place, and they bombard you with positive ions, and they direct these positive ions into your solar plexus. Solar plexus is a yin-yang. Yin-yang, basically it has a tiny bit of positive ion, but abundance of negative ions. So it's like a positive and negative. It's a union of the sun and the moon. Solar plexus is a union. It has the union of the sun and the moon energy. Okay? So the moon is being negative, and the sun is positive. Okay? So when the ray of light hits you, it charges your atom. They charges with basically electron. It charges your electron with basically it gives you an extra electrons from the sun, because the sun, the ray of light has an electron as well. I will give you electrons to supercharge your ions, and basically charging you and turning. Basically, when you have an extra electron, you have extra electron than protons. That means you're negatively charged, But when you have more proton than electron, you're positively charged. You understand? It's the opposite. So, but what the sun does, the sun gives you, it's charging you with extra electrons, and that's what it's called. What do you call it? It's photosynthesis, And then your body begins to heal and recharge itself and stuff, and usually it hits your neuromelanin, your melanin. And then when you go to sleep, all this neuromelanin was charged by the sun. It begins to heal you when you sleep. Because when you sleep, everything stays dormant, and then it activates when you sleep. Or this neuromelanin within that the sun activates, it charges, and then it activates when you go to bed, What's important is to activate your solar plexus, because when you activate the solar plexus, your body begins to heal. Even if they hit you during your sleep with light, when you wake up, sometimes you see a flashing light. That's intentionally, because they don't want your body to heal. They're controlling that. But when you activate your solar plexus, you have to bombard yourself, similar to how they bombard you with positive ions. You need to bombard yourself with negative ions. How you do it? You do it through prayers. I showed you how. You do it through prayers, and that will activate your negative ions. All right? And I told you how it's all done. These people, what they're attacking you, this is what they're attacking. Your healing property that God given you and given everybody. You know what I'm saying? God has been very generous, with humanity, giving them a lot, and so they know this, and that's what their clear intention is, to cause disturbances in your healing, and they do it just to control you. They do it to control you and to keep you sick forever. So when you are sick forever, when the sun sends vibration and solar flares and stuff like that, in order for you to be upgraded, this upgrade doesn't take place, because when the solar flares hit the earth, it stays within the earth with the resonance of the earth. Maybe sometimes the last one it says 6 months, but usually within a month it kind of goes away, and that's what kind of these people are doing. You understand? It's a very calculated move. They've done this, intentionally, and they're like at war with God, trying to control us because we're aligning with God. They don't like that. We're aligning with them. They will not control it. They will let this happen. They will let these torments. They will stop these torments and let you, because you're part of their you're part of their I guess entourage. But anyhow, last night they showed me you need to go back to school. No, I'm not going back to school. You know what I mean? It's not important for a royal to go back to school. You know what I'm saying? All education I already have, and I've learned more on my own. I don't need more education system. You can send other royals to education. You know what I mean? I'm self-taught. They need to learn on their own as well. It's not given to them by the education, because they hire doctors, all these professionals in the field to tell them stuff. You know what I'm saying? How do you do this? How do you do that? Why? I'm self-taught. I learned everything on my own. Thank God I'm able to do that. All right? Not interested in going back to school. Thank you, but anyway, for the offer. When we go through a transition and God is a transfer of power. Speaking of transfer of power, they're going to have people running the show while they go away. They're not going away. They're going to go to this plan B, whatever dungeons or whatever plan they have, whatever things they've done, if this third war, the holy war, is coming, and if you look at YouTube and look at people who channel different gods, different divinity and stuff like that. One of them, he did one with Hecate, Inanna, Ishtar, and she says the coming war is gonna be a huge war. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these people are planning for. The war doesn't have to happen if they stop. The war doesn't have to happen if they stop what they're doing, but they don't. That's why the war has to happen. So they're gonna go away and they're gonna have people in their place running the show. They're running their businesses, their money, and stuff like that. From all these people on top, wealthy people. Like from Microsoft, whatever his name is, to all these world, let's say Amazon, what his name, Bozo, anyhow, to all of these people, they're gonna have people running the show. One day, they go in hiding. This is how it's going to be done. People. I'm telling you, God knows. God knows. You know what I'm saying? God knows what they're planning to do. humanity also not stupid enough. They're not stupid as they think. They know a lot of stuff too. And I have discussion with people that I run into whatnot. They know a lot of stuff. So people are not gullible, But they think, these people, even when they messed up their DNA, they're not stupid either. They know what's going on, okay? But anyhow, that's all I'm going to talk about, guys. And negative ion is the key to healing. And you also have to do it to activate your solar plexus. Solar plexus has the sun and the moon. Okay? Negative, positive ions. But mostly, it should have a balance. It should have a balance. What do you call it? The solar plexus, right? But in order to kickstart your healing journey in your solar plexus, you have to bombard it with negative ions. Look online. What I'm telling you is not accurate. Negative ions is associated with healing or not. So do not really follow anybody, advice without doing your own research. Okay? And I've done that this morning because I was being attacked. And I've been attacked like heavily, from the people apartment across from me, and the people underneath me, and the people on the left. So like I've been bombarded. Like when I woke up, I could hear somebody's footstep outside the apartment, and so I know that what they were doing, But hey, pray against them for justice, for divine justice. You know what I mean? You see, what's going to happen to them is going to be, unstoppable. When you say, when you ask the cause of all creation to avenge on your behalf. Okay? All right? And, the feeling you get when you activate your solar plexus and you're bombarded with negative ion. You have to always, negatively charged, you always have to have extra electron in the atom or on the cell, right? So, because there's a proton and electron, you always have to have extra electrons. So, for example, if there's 3 electrons, it should be 2 protons, less. Because if it's more protons, it's positively charged. You don't need that. You need the opposite in order to heal. When I've done that yesterday, like this morning, I was in excruciating pain. I was in a lot of pain. And it wasn't fun, But when you start to heal, when the sun hits you, your, infusion, this like nuclear infusion in your body, it starts, And, try that and go out in the sun and let me know what you think, This is the key to your healing.